How do we stay positive and focused during COVID-19? Or any hard times for that matter. First of all, I want to say the year 2020. What the fuck? I mean, this is going to be a very special page in the history books of the future. Now, there's a lot of speculation about where all this is going, what's true and what isn't. I'm not going to argue for or against any of those predictions. I want to talk about this in terms of what's within our control and what isn't within our control. Because this is a time of great uncertainty, and so much is outside of our control. But there are a lot of things that we can do. So in the first part of this video, I'm going to talk about the things that are within our control, within our realm of influence. And in the second part, I'll talk about the things that are not within our control and how we can deal with the unknown. So, how do we stay focused during these hard times? Or another way of asking that question is, what kind of a person is best at dealing with chaos? Think of a ship out on the ocean and there's a storm. Now, what kind of a captain do you need to be to get through something like that? You would probably say something like, you need to be calm, collected, focused on your role as the captain, right? In other words, focused on the things within your control. Now, there is a lot of noise right now. There's a storm. So, more than ever, we really got to stay focused on our own direction, so that we don't get carried away in all the drama, all the waves. Now, let's rewind for a moment. At the start of all this, COVID-19, we were all told to go home. And suddenly, we weren't so busy anymore. Now, busyness is often a distraction. Very often, our busyness is an excuse not to do the things that we know we should be doing. So we were sitting there like, what now? And so suddenly we were kind of forced to reevaluate our lives. Some of us came home and discovered skeletons in our closets, because our problems become more obvious when we become quiet. Some of us spent a lot more time with our partners and realized, oh, I don't know if I want to be with this person anymore, now that I see them for what they really are. So the circumstances exposed us. But another thing, with all the restrictions, we also started to see what we actually value. You got to be away from something to realize how much you need it sometimes, or how much you don't need it. So we got to ask questions about our priorities. Who are the people that I want in my life or don't want? What are the activities that are important to me? What is it that really matters to me? And a lot of us realized, hey, I matter because I've been neglecting myself all this time. Neglecting my needs. So a lot of us rediscovered ourselves and refocused. A lot of us came home and restarted old hobbies. Some of us found new hobbies. That's what happens when we take time for ourselves. Some people even discovered their mission in life, their purpose. Now that we're reassessing our lives, it's a great time to ask, what can we give the world? What can I contribute? So there's been a lot of positivity with all this. On the other hand, some of us are terrified, scared about our financial future, losing our home, providing for our family, scared of getting sick, all the stress. This is a testing time. So that's why more than ever we need to be in touch with our deepest truths. It's a lot easier to navigate a storm when you know what you're about, because that gives you stability and direction. So how do we stay positive and focused during COVID-19? During hard times in general? Well, this is about you. So you need to ask yourself, what do I need to give myself to make sure that I'm nurtured and taken care of, so that then I can go and take on the world? What are the daily practices that I need to maintain to make sure I'm taken care of? And this is all within our control, within our realm of influence. For example, am I doing what I need to ensure my career, my job, my income? This is a time when we may need to make some tough decisions. Look at what's working and what isn't. So are we making those decisions, or are we procrastinating on making those decisions? This is a time when it may be good to take a leap. Maybe there's that idea that you've had for a while about starting a business or something like that, and this may be the opportunity, the push that you need to do that. There's a lot of creative people out there right now finding ways of turning this into an opportunity. I wonder how many people have paid their rent in the past few months by selling homemade masks online. So there is a lot of new needs, and they need to be fulfilled. So there is opportunity. Another daily practice that we can do that is within our control is meditation. Now, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. it can just be sitting down for 5 minutes and just going and just doing nothing. Now, the whole purpose of this is just to take a time out from your daily story, the daily narrative of your life, and just kind of step back and not do anything. Just be. And even 5 minutes once or twice a day, I guarantee will make a significant difference. Just take that time to just like guide yourself back to peace. Don't think about anything. Don't think about what you're going to do later. If a thought like that does come up, then just be like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to think about that now. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. Just get in touch with how I feel. Maybe you can pay attention to some sounds, the buzz of the refrigerator, in my case. And the point is just to just take a time out. Like, we have this idea of what it means to be efficient. And the idea is, if you do 6 hours of work, that means you've done 6 hours, which is more than 4 hours. But that's not always true. Sometimes you will be a lot more efficient and effective if you take an hour to just go to the beach and put your feet in the water for an hour, and then come back, and even though you'll do an hour less of the work that you're supposed to do, you'll be a lot more productive because you're in a better place to do the work. So being effective is giving ourselves what we need in order to do the work. Like the other day, I had planned that when I wake up, I'm going to do this project. I'm going to work on it all day, right? But when I woke up, I was like, really not in the mood for it. So I ended up going to the park and just sitting there for a while. I actually ended up falling asleep, taking a nap. And, I woke up refreshed. And when I came back home, I was in such a good mood that I was just working the whole day. And it was like enjoyable. So, working on like an assignment. So, and then like I started getting all these ideas, and it was creative, it was fun. There's no way that I would have done that much work and that quality of work if I had tried to force myself to work in that in the morning, right? So sometimes you gotta first give yourself what you need to set the conditions for you to be able to do the work. If you're doing everything within your circle of control, you're focused on yourself and your direction, then all the drama will go right past your head. But now, speaking of drama, I want to give you a question. How much news is too much news? Now, there is a lot of drama right now. So the question is, what's the difference between staying informed about what's going on and being hooked on the sensationalism of the current news story? Because one of them is healthy and the other one can very easily spiral down this circular thinking that doesn't go anywhere good. And because these issues that are happening at the moment, for all of us, they touch on a deep-rooted fear that we all have. And the more we're involved in that, the more it's emotionally draining. So it takes a kind of discipline to stay away from that slippery slope of distractions. It's like the ship in the storm analogy. Like, imagine if the captain during the storm was caught up in watching the waves. It's like, whoa, that's such a big wave. Look how it chewed up that other wave. Hey, did you see how that wave just... You get what I'm saying? It's like, we don't have time to get caught up in watching the waves. There's a storm. We have to focus on steering the ship. Or steering our lives. It's a lot like if you think of your mind as a garden, like, what do you want to be watering the garden with? Clean water? Or some kind of like weird, poisonous, rancid liquid? So what does it look like to be informed in a healthy way? For example, you could say to yourself, okay, I'm going to take 10 minutes in the morning after breakfast to look at my favorite news source, and then I'll look at what's going on, and then I'll leave it. Maybe another 10 minutes in the afternoon if you want, but it doesn't take that long to find out what's going on. That doesn't take a lot of time. So, like, we don't need to read every single story and go down that track. Right now, there's more noise than ever. So, we really gotta run a tight ship. Keep a high vibration. We're talking about your well-being, your time. This is your life. So you gotta become a guardian of your time, what you consume. Who are the people that support you and your ambitions? And who are the people that you might want to distance yourself from? You gotta protect your life from intruders. Become a warrior for your own well-being. All this is within our control. Okay, now in this second part of the video, I want to talk about embracing the unknown. Being okay with sitting in uncertainty. Now, we needed the first part of the video in order to understand this second part, because all the things that we do within our control reinforce us and give us the stability to be able to face the unknown. The truth is, we don't know what's going to happen with this whole COVID situation. We need to accept that reality. Like, we can get involved in many ways to help and to influence some change, but whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So we need to embrace the storm. And that's not easy, because accepting the unknown is letting go of control. So what we need to do is to deepen our connection to that which we cannot see. Our inner compass. What am I talking about? For some people that's God. For some people that's Source. The universe. Divine Self. Creativity. Love. Whatever that something is for you, that's what you need to strengthen your connection with to keep you strong during times of uncertainty. So we need to realign with that, because that is your supply. Money is not your supply. People are not your supply. Circumstances are not your supply. Whenever you look outside of yourself for your source of well-being, it's going to fail. Because you're looking in the wrong place. Like, we've all seen those pictures of poor kids in India or Africa, and they're like playing with some ball or one of those tires, and they're chasing it with a stick, and the look on their faces is just like sincere joy and happiness and that spark of life. How's that possible? They don't have an iPhone, they don't have a BMW, they don't even have Wi-Fi. But still, they have this fulfillment. That's because the source of our fulfillment isn't out there. It's inside. So we always need to refer inside for guidance and nourishment, because that is our true supply. When we maintain our connection to that, then we can face the unknown. Everything I've said so far, the daily practices, focusing on our mission, staying in our own lane and focusing on ourselves, all of that is cultivating a mindset. And this mindset is what empowers us to maneuver the unknown. That's what gives us the self-confidence to move forward even though we don't know how it's going to turn out. And that's what makes a great captain. So we don't have to have every little thing planned out. When we let go of trying to control every little thing, that's when a higher power shows up. That's when we get inspiration, creativity, ideas. That's when opportunities start showing up. So we need to befriend the mystery. If we maintain the right practices, the right mindset, we maintain our own rhythm, then eventually everything will fall into place. The captain and his ship are like you and your life. So the way that the captain controls his ship during a storm is the way that you control your life during COVID-19, during any hard times. When everything on the ship is in order, the crew are doing their job, everything works properly, everything's clean. And when you, the captain, are in touch with yourself, plugged in to that deep place within, your personal North Star, that's when you can take on any storm. So take care of your ship. And most importantly, take care of the captain. You. If you do all that, then who knows? Maybe you'll even